Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's had a great week. I really am not looking forward to next week at work. So I'm sorry that it's already Sunday. I can't believe it. It just seems like I've only had a day off, really. I have been having a little bit of a hard time. Um, sometimes when everything from the past kind of creeps up on you all at once, and being unsure about the future, and the times that we live in where there's so much hate and animosity, um, it just gets to me sometimes, and I'm sure some of you are the same way. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I've really been having a difficult time of it lately, for no reason really other than I'm too much inside my own head, which happens to everybody sometimes. So I have to do something for other people so that I can get out of my head and know that there's other people out there who are suffering greatly, much more than I. And that's not hard to realize if you look around. So I just pray a lot and have an appointment with my therapist to talk about it, to see if I can stop from having a nervous breakdown like I did about 15 years ago. So everybody pray for me and we'll see how it goes. I got some great stuff when I've been out shopping the past week or so. A lot of it is just little teeny tiny things or things that I've bought for myself to keep. But I'll try to get through it all really quick. And I also have some things I have no idea what the heck they are. So if any of you have any ideas, please leave it in the comments. Also, if you have any requests for things for me to talk about or not talk about, leave those in the comments as well. And that'll help me to make better videos, more interesting for you guys to watch. Also, again, today we have another heat advisory here. I know I always look sweaty when I do these videos. It's because I am sweaty. All I did was walk to the mailbox, for real. And just, I keep my temperature in my house somewhere between 70 and 72. But as soon as you walk outside, you just break out in a sweat. It's so hot and so humid. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my poor husband is outside mowing the yard, our yard and the neighbors, because the neighbor's only a part-time resident. They spend most of their time in Illinois, so he mows their yard for them. And of course they compensate him a little bit, but I've tried to get him to stop doing it, but he's just a good guy. He's a much better person than I am, I'll put it that way. I'll start out by showing you a couple of the small things and get them out of the way. I got these two really cute. They're called Guy Buffett. They were designed by Guy Buffett. They're stainless steel cheese knives, and they're little sommelier or wine guys. When you go to a fancy restaurant, they'll send out a sommelier to help you choose a wine to go with your dinner or your food. So these are very cute. I just bought them on a whim. They were 50 cents each at a new thrift store that I'd never been to. So I went ahead and picked those up because I thought they were just cute. I don't know, they probably have no value whatsoever, but we'll see. Also, my husband had picked up some 45s, I think. Either that or we got somebody's stuff in our bag because I didn't pick up these 45s or any of these books. So I don't know if we got somebody's bag by mistake, and I don't really remember which estate sale we got all this at, but we've got Ball of Fire by Tommy James and the Shondells and Making Good Time on the other side. And then here we have Carry On Till Tomorrow and No Matter What by Badfinger. I do not know who Badfinger is. Not sure. And we've got Isn't It a Pity on one side and My Sweet Lord on the other one by George Harrison. What Goes On one side and Nowhere Man on the other by the Beatles. And this one is You Know My Name, Look Up My Number, and Let It Be, the Beatles. This one is Sweet Home Alabama and Take Your Time, Leonard Skinner. This one is Mama Told Me Not to Come and Rock and Roll Widow, Three Dog Night. Black Magic Woman and Hope You're Feeling Better, Santana. Jumpin' Jack Flash and Child of the Moon, Rolling Stones. So those are the 45s that I found when I went through a box over here. I had bought a big lot of Tupperware, and I found this stuff. I'm going to be doing an auction for the Tupperware, everything starting at $1. So if anybody's interested in some older Tupperware, I have tons of it and all different kinds. I have canisters, I have storage, I have cake takers, I have a rectangle one and a round one, and I'm going to start everything at $1. So if you have any interest in that, or if you want to make me an offer before I put them up for auction, feel free to do that in the comments, or if you want to see any of them, I'd be happy to send you pictures. So, but I'm not going to take time to do that unless people are interested in it, because I'm very busy at work right now. That's another reason why I think I'm having a hard time right now. It's very stressful at work and it's been very busy. So, this book showed up in my Tupperware bag. Janet Ivanovich, Plum Lovin'. I really like the cover on this. I like that color. Purple is one of my favorite colors. This is Janet Ivanovich, Plum Lucky. I see a theme here. She's probably got other plum books that I don't know about. Sandra Brown, Tough Customer, hardback. Tammy Hogue, Deeper Than the Dead. I think I've heard of her before. I don't think I've ever read anything by her, but I think she's a horror writer. Not a horror writer. Yeah. Pretty sure. And then I have this one, Sue Grafton, W is for Wasted. These all look like really good books, but I'm never going to have time to read them. So I'll probably just resell them. Then I have some, these look like textbooks. They're really nice bound books. I've got one that says Institute in Basic Youth Conflicts, Research and Principles of Life. I mean, look at the binding of that. That's just gorgeous. Gorgeous book. And Research and Principles of Life Basic Seminar Textbook. So these must have been textbooks at some point. Probably some kind of college course. Probably had a set of books that they that taught a certain curriculum from those books. But they're very nice. And I'll tell you one thing right now, when I was in college, I never had a textbook that nice. Most of the time you paid $300 or $400 or $500 and got a paperback with a CD in it. Also, I got 3 plate stands, or, you know, where you put your decorative flatter items in. So I got those because I'm always needing those for display. And I have sold a few to other people that needed them. And then I got, this is funny, this gave me a little giggle. My IQ is around 132. I've taken many IQ tests, and that's the average, what it comes out at, 132. At an estate sale, I found this. It's puzzles. It's like for a cocktail table or a bar, and then it's little wooden puzzles. So this is the only one that's not put together. So yesterday I got this out, and I thought, oh yeah, I can get this put together, no problem. And this is as close as I came. In my defense, I only had a few minutes to spend on it, but at least it fits enough in the box to where it won't fall out. So I'm gonna have somebody smarter than me, maybe my sister Rita, or my daughter Alexandra, or my sister Connie. Even, she's very smart. She's a architectural drafter. She could probably figure that out in no time. Geometry was never my strong suit, and it never will be, obviously. So I thought that was funny. Sometimes you think you're so smart, you know. And then I found this at an estate sale. It's a little monk looking person with a big nose. Maybe it's not a monk. Maybe it's just an alcoholic with his head up, with a blanket over his head because he's got a hangover. I don't know, with that nose. But he's reading a comic book, and it's porcelain. But he has on a monk robe, so I think he's a monk. But who knows? It's not marked. I have no idea. I just thought it was kind of funny. I have kind of a weird sense of humor, and I don't know, I just thought it was funny, so I bought it. And then I have, I think there's 6 lucite dried flower coasters. These are really pretty. I like these. They're very mid-century modern, which is very hot right now. And the best part about these, if you can believe it or not, I just for giggles got my blacklight out, and these glow green. I don't know if you can see it on the, some of them glow more than the others. I think this one really puts out some green light. Let me see if I do it like this. So what this means is this lucite has a little bit of uranium in it, right? If it glows like that. So those will probably sell very well once I get them listed. Not sure when I'll get them listed up, but you know my platforms. I sell on Whatnot, live auctions. I have a store in eBay, and I have an Etsy shop, and now I post some things on Poshmark, because the different platforms, you get a different type of people. Did I mention Etsy? I use Etsy as well, but there's different people on all those platforms, and I used to only use eBay, but I found that there's a lot of people on there, and they've kind of flooded the market to where it's hard to be seen. And all of my stores right now are named to be Thomas Books, after my son, who passed away when he was 10. But I am changing my store name. thinking about opening a brick and mortar store. It's going to be called Mad Zen Antiques, Vintage and Antiques. Um, so be looking out for that. I know my YouTube name is Mad Zen with 2 N's, but my store name's going to be with 1 N because that's my handle on all the video games I've ever played online or anything like that. And the only reason I am not Mad Zen on YouTube with 1 N is because there is a musician named Mad Zen, and he took the name. Even though I've had a store since 1999, I didn't join YouTube until sometime in the 2000s, so my name was already taken there. And that's okay, because I did not copyright it or trademark it. So I got a milk glass vase with the, I bet you every one of you that are my age has seen one of these in your grandma's house or in your mom's house. I think everybody had one. But it's got a number 15 on the bottom of it. That's probably the mold number, because those are pressed into a mold to be made. Then I saved this poor thing. Good Lord. This is a Hager vase. It has some damage on it. It is so dirty, and it has paint splatters on it. I don't know if you can see the blue paint splatters. I only paid $5 for it. I'm gonna try to clean it up, and I'll probably keep it because it does have damage on the lid. However, whoever glued it back together did a pretty good job. All it needs is, you know, some paint. So that's I just couldn't leave it there. I had to save it. That's what I'm doing is all about, is saving history, because there's so many people trying to erase history right now. And I think it's important for us to save history as much as possible, even if it's objects, books, stories that's been passed down for generations. All that stuff is very important, because we are part of our past. Also, I bought this beautiful Victorian porcelain lamp. It's a Tyndale. They're made in Chicago. It's hand painted. The artist did sign it right here. I think it says Alexis, but I'm not sure. The lamp itself, it does have the original finial, which is very important because it matches the bottom. I think it might be brass. Pretty sure it's brass. But it does have a replaced lamp hanger. It's new, you can tell. It's been replaced. But the rest of the lamp, you know, besides the shade, of course, is not original to the lamp. The rest of it appears to be original, and it is a beautiful Victorian porcelain lamp, hand painted, and the company has a really good name in lamp making. It's about as much of it is original right there, besides the finial. When I bought it, because it's not a pair, usually everybody will tell you it's better to get lamps in a pair. But like I said, I'm trying to save history some here, and it's not unusual for a lamp that old to lose its mate due to being broke or whatever. Maybe it gets split up in the when the kids, you know, are splitting up the inheritance of their parents or grandparents or whatever. It's not unusual for a lamp that old to be a single. So I wish they did had have had the other one. I wish I did have a pair, but I only have the one. And I'm gonna clean it up and try to save it and pass it off to somebody who loves it and who has room for it, because God knows my husband and I both have a problem with lamps. We have lamps everywhere. We have lamps in places we don't even need lamps. So um, let's see. I want to show you, because when we go on vacation, we like to put a puzzle out on the table. And then, usually when we go on vacation, we go to the beach. You can only spend so much time out in the sun. So we always like to put a puzzle out on a table. Usually when you rent a beach house, they provide an extra table for gaming. And we usually put a puzzle on that table, and we all, whoever's with us on vacation, we all pass by and work on it from time to time. So by the end of vacation, we usually have it done one way or another. My husband gets obsessed when it's the conclusion of the week is near. He really gets busy if it's looking like we're not going to get it finished by the end of vacation. So we picked up two vintage Milton Bradley puzzles. I don't even know if Milton Bradley makes puzzles anymore, but I thought these were pretty landscape puzzles, and we'll enjoy them when we go on vacation. I realized the last vacation we went on, we only had Christmas puzzles left that we hadn't worked. So it was in July, and I wasn't in the mood to, it was actually like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I wasn't in the mood to do Christmas in July. Some people like that, but and fortunately, when we got to the house that we rented, they had some puzzles there, so we were able to put together a new puzzle that we'd never put together before. Because it's kind of no fun to put them together after you put them together once. I guess if you forget, it's okay, but on that note, I've got more to show you, but it's coming up on 23 minutes, this video, so I'm going to do a part 2. I don't like to make my videos too long because I lose people if they're too long, because they get tired of me going on and on. So love each other, and I'll see you in part 2.